buddies, my name is Jacksepticeye and I'm finally home. It's weird to be sitting down in front of a camera recording stuff again because it's been a whole week. If you don't know, I was away at PAX for the last week. I flew out last Thursday and I only got back today. Well, yesterday by the time you see this vlog, but I only got back today and there was a whole mess of stuff trying to get me home. But first I wanted to talk about PAX because that was absolutely awesome. I just tried to roll up my sleeve, missed and hit myself in the ditty. Yeah, I flew out to PAX West last Thursday, and PAX was like from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I was there for all 4 days, and it was an absolute blast. It was one of the best conventions that I've ever been to so far, because so much happened, so much great stuff was going on, and I just enjoyed almost every single moment of it. We flew out on the Thursday and got there, and then the first day, on the Friday, there was 2 signings. Well, I was scheduled to do 1 signing with Ken and Felix. It was like a Revel mode kind of signing thing, and then Mark, Bob, and Wade signing was on after that. So they were gracious enough to allow me to go on to that one as well, because I did meet a lot of people in the line. If you were there, thank you so much. It was so lovely meeting all of you. It was a really great day. There was so many people who were in the line, and they had to like choose whichever one, because the signings are right beside each other, but one right after each other. So people had to decide whether they wanted to go to the Jack, Ken, Felix one or the Mark, Bob, and Wade one, which kind of sucks. So I did ask, after our signing, we went over and I talked to some of the people in like the Mark, Bob, and Wade line, and they were like, oh, I had to come to this one because I didn't know who to choose, and I was hoping that you'd be on this one. And it was so sad because there were so many people there who I wanted to meet as well. So I asked, and they said that I could be on that one too. So I did both signings. So I was able to meet so many people, and that was absolutely awesome, because that's like the main reason I go to these conventions, is to meet all of you and have fun and sign stuff and take pictures and hear your stories and talk to you face to face and see the faces behind the usernames. And I did meet quite a few people who I recognized from online, whether it be Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, whatever, who were there and talked to me and showed me some of the stuff that they had made, and it was so cool. After that happened, there was nothing else that day. The Saturday then was the Mark, Bob, and Wade panel, which again, I didn't ask to be on this, but it was all over the place, because I knew that there was a Jacksepticeye panel happening on the Monday, so I was like, I didn't want to encroach on somebody else's panel and be the dude who was on all the panels and looked like he just wanted to do everything all the time for himself or whatever. But okay, so Wade and Molly got engaged at Mark's panel, and that was the fucking best thing ever. It was so super cute. I cried on stage. I didn't make it obvious, but there was definitely like tears coming down my face during when it happened, and I'm absolutely so happy for them. Congratulations so much. I wish you guys nothing but the best. You're such a cute couple together, and I wish you nothing but happiness for the rest of your lives. You guys deserve it. Mwah. I love you guys. But because I found out that was happening like the day before it happened, so I was so glad I got to be a part of that on stage for that panel, and I got to be like up there when it happened, and I got to like just the fact that I got to be involved in that in some way at all, it is incredibly flattering, and I'm so glad that those guys trust me enough to be part of something like that, and they like me enough to be part of something like that. So thank you so much. That was an experience. That everything after that on that panel I can't remember, because it was all just Wade and Molly for the entire thing. I'm so happy for them. Then on the Sunday, there's a lot of stuff happening all the time. Oh wait, no, after that on the Saturday, I recorded a thing with Felix in the hotel. It's not gone up yet, but you might have seen clips here and there in his vlog, or some stuff on like the internet here and there where I was covered in cream. So we did like a lie detector test. We had a polygraph machine hooked up to us, and he was asking me questions, and if I lied, or if I said the opposite of what it was. Oh no, it was. If I lied, I got a pie in the face. Like a shaving cream pie on my face. And then I got to ask him questions and pie him in the face. And it was so much fucking fun. Oh, I love doing that. Some of the questions were a bit weird. And then we found out that the dude who was doing the polygraph test had a sense of humor as well. So he would like say the wrong one, or say that we were lying just for the sake of the video. And it was so awesome. Oh, I can't wait for you guys. Oh god, my mic's falling over. I can't wait for you guys to see that either. I have no idea where it is, when it's going up, when we'll get the footage of it or anything like that, because it was very professionally recorded. So I can't wait for it. Oh, yeah, I think you'll really like it. So hopefully we get that soon and we get to mess around with it. But then on the Sunday was the Revel mode panel, which again was just so much fucking fun. that was a really great panel. There was Mark, Emma Blackery, Felix, Crabblecop, Ken, Kick the PJ, Jelly, and Dodger. We were all up on stage all together, and it was just, I thought it was going to be an absolute mess, because 9 people on stage. I just thought in my head, good God, it's like watching fucking Slipknot get up and play a concert, except way less coordinated and on time. It went really well. We got up and we played charades, and I hadn't played charades since I was like 10, if even that. It was probably longer ago since that, so it was really fun, and it went really well. And then it was like charades were over. It was like, okay, what do we do now? And the clock said 40 minutes, and everyone was like, nah, the clock's just looping, that's not accurate. And then Ken turned to me, he was like, yeah, that's accurate, yeah, we have 40 minutes left. And we had no idea what to do. So he had some questions on his phone that people on Twitter had asked, so we got to answer a few of those. And it was just a really, really good panel. Went way better than I expected it to, again, because there was so many people on it. But I had a really great time doing that. And then that was the Sunday. And then on the Monday was my panel, which, again, thank you so much for coming out to that. I had no idea what to expect for something like that, because it was the Monday of PAX. Everyone usually goes home on the Sunday because they have work or school on the Monday and they don't really hang around. Some people do. And I had no idea if like that many people were going to show up. And then the doors opened and people started to fill in like 15 minutes beforehand. And it was like the first like 4 or 5 rows were filled, not the sides or anything. I was like, okay, that's cool. I'm so glad these people showed up. And then like 2 minutes to go, people were still coming in. And then by the time I actually got out to do it, I actually like walked out through the curtains. The entire place was full. And I got so nervous. You can see it, like, if you were there, you would have noticed. You can actually watch all these panels on YouTube somewhere. I'm not going to say where. If you search for them, the PAX West 2016 panels, you'll be able to find them. But I don't want to say there's a specific channel that uploads them, and I'm really grateful for that, so thank you for doing that, because not a lot of people made it to the live streams. But I'm not going to say the name just in case it paints a target on their back or anything like that, because I don't want that. But thank you for uploading them. So you can go, if you search like Jacksepticeye PAX West 2016 panel or something like that, you'll find them easily. Anyway, so there was 3 panels going on, but again, I walked out and there was just so many people there. Way more than I expected, because I didn't look out before I went out just in case people were able to see me, and it kind of ruined the whole entrance thing. It was very, very formal and very, very professional. But when I went out, I just my heart started beating so hard and my hands started shaking. And you can hear it when I went out, my voice was cracking and I was swallowing really hard. But then the more the panel went on, I got so at ease with it because you guys are just so nice and so awesome. And you asked some really great questions. That was actually the biggest thing coming off that panel. When I came back down off the panel, everyone who came up to me was like, oh, you did really well. Those were some really great questions. The consistent theme about the panel was that you guys asked some really great questions, which normally I don't hear that about panels. So thank you really for those, because some of them really, really were great questions. Some of them were hard questions, but and some of them were silly questions. So it was a great balance of everything, and they were really great questions to answer to. I'm sorry that some of them I made a bit more awkward because I couldn't really hear what they were saying. And I didn't understand what they said at first. And then after a few minutes I was like, oh, that, yeah, of course. And so I made it really awkward, so I apologize for that. If I made you feel awkward or weird or anything, while the camera was on you, that was not my intention. But man, that panel was so fun. I had no idea how it was going to go, because I've never done one on my own before. And I explained this in another vlog before, in the tattoo vlog, so I'm not going to get into it again, but it was so much fun. I tried to be as nice as possible. I tried to get through as many questions as I could, give people the time of day, the time of day to get their questions out, and actually stand there and listen. Because one of the things I don't like about some panels is that it's just quick fire. I don't like it when it's quick fire. I mean, it's great that you get through a lot of questions, but I also want people to feel like they ask the question they want and they get the answer they want out of that. And I try to throw it back to you guys every now and then as well, because I don't think it's any fun either if I'm just standing there asking or answering questions all the time. I mean, that's the idea of it, but I like to interact. I like to throw the questions back to you sometimes. Some people asking me what my favorite characters in games were, and then when you throw it back to them, they're like, I don't know. I'm like, see, it's not that easy to think up of things on the spot, but such a fun time, interacting with the audience like that, and you guys just, I don't know, it was great to be in that atmosphere because none of the jokes or anything like went over my head. I kind of understood everything that was going on. Any of the jokes that were made like landed very well because again, they were there for a Jacksepticeye panel kind of thing. So I don't know, it was so much fun. I wanted it to go on longer. It went like that. As soon as I got down, I was like, what? There was only 5 minutes left, what? And there was so much I wanted to say at the end as well, but I felt like if I dragged it on too long, people would get bored, so I was so paranoid. Ooh, but it went really well. I was very happy with it. So that was the whole, like, event of PAX itself. I did get to go see all my friends again, which is so fucking cool. I wish I got to hang out with Felix a bit more, because whenever you go to these and there's so many people around, like, you can't all stay in one group. You can't all go and have dinner together all the time, because it doesn't work like that, because there's like 25 of us then all together, because there's like certain groups that like don't mingle as well, and then some people out of certain groups get along better than others and everything, so it's just a big mess whenever you try and coordinate stuff like that. So we didn't get to hang out as much as I would have wanted to, but I should go see him soon, like actually at his house, because he lives in England, I live in Ireland, it's not that far away, I can get there pretty easily. And pretty promptly, so I should go over and actually spend some quality time with him outside of a convention. I did get to see Mark, Bob, Wade, all those guys again, and it was just a blast as well. Again, a bit messy because stuff was all over the place and we were doing a shit ton of stuff. There was like 3 panels, 2 signings going on, so it was hard to do that. And the lie detector thing, so it was kind of hard to coordinate with everybody all the time. Whenever I'm in America, my phone has spotty connection, so that's hard to do as well. So I know, it was really great to hang out with them again, because I hadn't seen Bob in an entire year. We talk online every now and then, but like face to face, I hadn't seen him since PAX Prime last year, which was fucking nuts. It didn't feel like that long ago, but at the same time it felt like ages ago. That's what he said to me, and I agree. So it was just nuts to think like it had been that long, but I'm so thankful to those guys, because they sat down. There was some stuff bothering me while I was there, and some stuff inside my head, and I was trying to like, I was trying to like stay positive and everything, but some stuff just kind of got to me on one of the days, and Bob and Wade were there to like sit down and actually talk to me and listen as well, and just talk me through some stuff. So I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much. That really meant a lot to me. It actually made us closer. And actually, like, that's real friendship. That's what it's all for. And Molly as well, and Mandy, thank you. I don't want to leave you out. You guys are great too. It was a really nice experience. The reason this convention was so great is because there was so many friends there, there was so many things to do, so many events for you guys to go to, and I got to meet like a shit ton of you. I got to get up and answer some questions in front of you, and then, I don't know, it felt like it hit all the right notes. The entire weekend hit all the right notes. I was so happy throughout all of it. Again, just that one little time there was something bothering me, but like everything else was absolutely perfect, and I couldn't have asked for a better convention. So thanks to everyone involved, and thanks to all like the PAX people who work there, and all the maker people and Revel Mode people who help out, because they make everything so much easier, getting you from like A to B and organizing like cars to get to places so you're on time for everything, and the enforcers who work at PAX, they like walk around with you at the floor so you actually have time to go around and see the actual convention and to buy stuff. I bought like little Undertale figurines, I'll get to that in a minute, but just thanks to them for putting in such hard work, because I know it's not easy, so thank you so much. But on to the horrible part of the entire weekend, which was getting home, because I got stuck in Boston for an entire day. I was supposed to fly home yesterday and get back yesterday morning, but our flight was delayed. We got to Seattle airport and there was nothing about flight delays or anything. When we checked in, they didn't say anything. When we got to the gate, it was like, flight was supposed to be at 11:05 a.m. And then it was like, now departing 12:05. I was like, shit, our flight is delayed an hour. So I was looking up the flight on my phone, and like we had to get a connecting flight back to Dublin in Boston. When I say we, I mean me and my girlfriend, of course. Sorry, I didn't explain that. So we got to the gate, and I was like, okay, I asked them, we had 15 minutes to get to our next flight in Boston, according to the timeline of everything when we land with that hour delay. Then I asked them, they were like, we honestly don't know if you're going to make that. All flights in America are delayed because it was weather conditions, which is completely out of their control. I'm not mad at the airline at all. It's not their fault. But it was weather conditions, so the flight was delayed going out because flights were delayed coming in. Then when we got onto the plane, we were delayed another hour. So we sat in the plane and they were like, we're so sorry about this, folks. You're delayed another hour because there's some fucking ships or boats or something in Boston that we couldn't get in because they were too big to avoid. I don't fucking know. I'm not an air biologist. So again, I'm not mad at them. They wanted to be on the plane and flying out as soon as we did. Delays are not fun for anybody, so no ill will towards them. But then, because of that extra delay, we missed our flight to Dublin. When we got in, the flight was just taxiing out when we landed. So we missed that and we got stuck in Boston for a day. Which was nice. We got in super late. It was like 10:30. So we had that. But we got to spend like all the next day walking around Boston because the next flight home was 6 p.m. the next day. Which fucking sucked. And we weren't allowed to get our suitcases. Because our suitcases were put on the flight in Seattle. They made it to Boston. They were supposed to put on the Boston flight to Dublin. But they weren't because we were delayed, so they were offloaded. And then we weren't allowed to get our suitcases for that night. So we had no toothbrushes, no change of clothes, nothing like that. So we had to like make do with what we had at the time. But it was nice because the next day in Boston, we woke up early. We got to walk around Boston. It's a very nice city. I really like Boston. We got to do some of it last time at PAX East. So I really enjoyed that. It was a very nice sunny day. So that was really nice. And then we got to the airport and everything went absolutely smoothly, perfectly. So in the end, it all worked out great. I had videos prepared anyway, as I do, because I'm always over prepared for these kind of things. So I was glad about that. So I wasn't stressing out. I wasn't like mad or anything like that. If anything, it was kind of fun to go through that experience. Weirdly, everyone was like, I don't know how you're staying so positive through all this, but it was kind of fun. I mean, that stuff doesn't happen normally, and I got to spend an extra day in America and just have time to sit down and relax and just walk around Boston for a day. So worse things have happened. Greater, weirder, crazier things have happened, so it wasn't that bad. I had a lot of fun, and again, it was coming off an incredibly great weekend, so overall, a very enjoyable experience. But I'm back! So the videos are still ready to go. Didn't miss an upload schedule, which I'm very, very proud of. Even doing 2 signings, 3 panels, video recording, missing my flight and being a whole day delayed, and absolutely nothing changed on the channel. So I'm very, very, very proud of that. So yeah, everything's going great. Woo! And the channel hit 12 million before I went. So that was really great. Well, actually, the day I flew out. So that was a fantastic thing as well. Again, thank you so much for that. But just thank you for an incredible weekend. That was really, really great. I was so happy to meet all of you. And I just had an absolute blast. I got to meet a lot of other YouTubers at different parties that were going on at nighttime. It was just a really, really great positive experience, and I'm glad I got to go to it. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, punch that like button in the face like a boss, and high fives all row. Whoosh, whoosh. Thank you guys. Now we'll see all you dudes. Why? Why do you posit these scenarios to me? Because one would say killing the 5 innocent children would be worth saving the lives of thousands who are suffering due to terrorism. Oh, jeez, I forgot to mention as well, a couple proposed on my panel too, which is fucking awesome. That was like the most flattering thing ever. Mwah! Thank you for that. That was so sweet. I wish you guys nothing but the best as well. I should have put this at the start in the middle of the vlog. Crap! Because not a lot of people hang around for these. But at least it's there, so congratulations, and I wish you guys the best.